Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. Oh, you know what I didn't do today? I didn't fix my camera. That's what I didn't do, because anytime you restart your computer with a Logitech camera, it automatically decides that all of your settings are pointless and terrible. There we go. That should do. Yeah, I'm a little dark, but it's fine. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. Tonight, I will be your caster Tetcher, and I will be bringing you a double feature. Today, we'll be starting off with a Division B NorthEast match, because there are multiple Division Bs for reasons. We have a Division B NorthEast match, and that will be between ReGen Ghost and Uncomfortably Numb, which I will have to avoid singing to the tune of Linkin Park's Numb. If it happens, I'll try and come up with some creative lyrics. After that, we will have a E-East game between Bull Moose Party and Mosley and the Arcanauts. Should be a fun set of matchups. I hope you are as excited as I am, and we should be good. Looking sharp tonight. I have done nothing different other than fix my camera, which I've realized isn't completely fixed yet. Let's quickly turn the gain up a little there to fix our little corner of terribleness in the bottom there. And that should be good. There we go. It's still flickering a little, but who cares? It's fine. But welcome. We are just getting ready. Our teams are in. Once again, we're going to be starting off with our NorthEast game between ReGen Ghost and Uncomfortably Numb. I'm just going to let them know. Caster is R whenever. But for now, let's show you where we're going to be headed. But first, let's have a look at where our teams are matched up in Division B NorthEast. So, we have ReGen Ghost currently sitting in position number 5. 2 matches played, though. They have 1 domination, which is their 3 points, and 1 single win, which is their 2-1, as they have won 4 maps and lost 1. Sitting on 5 points, 5th position, pretty middle of the pack. Excuse me, Uncomfortably Numb, though, they have only played a single game, and they sit on 3 points as well, meaning that if they win this, despite ReGen Ghost having more games, Uncomfortably Numb will overtake them. You can hear the draft has started, but first let's have a look at the maps, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be heading in to Tomb of the Spider Queen with ReGen Ghost batting out Brax's Holdout and Battlefield of Eternity. Uncomfortably Numb, who won the coin flip, they banned out Alterac Pass and Cursed Hollow. Feels good. So, we are ready. The draft is set. Let's get going into Tomb of the Spider Queen for our first game of the night. Remember, these are all best of 3s. And I will be bringing them all to you. So, let's get this started with Uncomfortably Numb on the first pick, first ban, to the Spider Queen, of course. You want heroes who can effectively keep that rotation going. Get some control over the map that way by controlling who is where. And controlling it that way. And being able to interrupt rotations of your enemies if you can, and also focus on getting the best rotations you can to grab as many gems as possible. Why on earth is that? What? Why did auto mod take that? Screw that. Either way, there you go. Enjoy. Alright, I don't know why the auto mod decided to block you there, Ender, but welcome. Johanna's going to be taken out here, so Medivh, we're sticking pretty standard for the moment. And there goes the Hogger as well. So very high level standard bans from Uncomfortably Numb. ReGen, though, they do make up for it with the Chromie. And the Johanna is still very strong on this map as well, being able to double rotate very easily, grouping up the minions for the rest of the team to clear. It's a very standard pick, nothing too surprising or out of the ordinary here. Uncomfortably Numb now. They get the first pickup. Tyke is still available. We still have quite a few of those top priority heroes. All the tanks are still up as well. Where do they choose to go? They pick up the ETC. Very good at disrupting the rotations on this map, really preventing people from getting from place to place very easily. But again, we're still leaving up a lot of very, very high priority heroes here in the form of Uther, in the form of Tychus, in the form of so many more, as we see May and Gazlo coming in here for ReGen Ghost. Going for a very control-heavy composition here. They have insane zoning here, and May, someone who doesn't actually have too much of a difficulty with ETC. She has a lot of mobility. Alarak coming out for Uncomfortably Numb. A very good sleeper pick these days, as he sneaks his way into the draft. Very good burst composition from Uncomfortably Numb so far, as they get the Lucio. Very solid idea to pick up a Lucio when you're against a Mei or a Gazlo. Keep your team mobile. If you can keep them moving, then you're preventing them from getting caught in that Blizzard, in that Explodium charge. You get a lot of control over the map that way. Also, double soak rotations. When you're running that Lucio, a little bit easier. Rotate around the map, you don't have to mount up as quickly. Works pretty good. Kael'thas banned out would be a very good follow-up there. Hey, Skimmy! How you doing, buddy? For starters, congrats on the ANZ League stuff round 2. I forget the actual official name for it, but congrats on getting your job back, dude. I felt so absolutely horrible when I saw the initial announcement that it had been shut down. It was like, how is this guy so unlucky to have that shit happen fucking twice? Oh, I'm not allowed to swear. Wait, this is my channel. Wait, no, I'm still not allowed to swear. All right, sorry about that. But either way, Diablo shall be taken out of action. Removed for the high burst composition when you have a Lucio running that Diablo is very, very scary. Getting high lockdown, very rough to deal because Lucio is forced to stand next to walls, and that's where Diablo thrives. Rhaegar, interesting. With the higher priority healers being Deckard and Stukov at the moment and Brightwing, seeing that Rhaegar is very interesting. Potentially into a Robo-Goblin build with Bloodlust, potentially? The possibility is there. Lots of options for them to go into here. And if not, Ancestral Healing still going to be pretty decent with no chance of anti-healing. Don't get banned now. Oh, yeah, exactly. Uncomfortably Numb now. Jada gets taken and Kerrigan. Classic combo. The Jada Kerrigan here. Some of the best burst in the game when it comes to a big hard engage combo. With ETC as the setup for that, they've got a really good setup here that's going to be very focused on killing individual members. And ReGen Ghost, I was talking about the Uther earlier, but honestly, they should really pick that up right now. It's going to make up for a little bit of what Rhaegar lacks when it comes to immediate burst healing. Has a second cleanse to potentially protect against the Kerrigan ETC combo. Good stuns to control the point. That ain't an Uther, though. That is a Butcher coming in for ReGen Ghost. Butcher into Jada, Kerrigan, Alarak, ETC. This is definitely, I mean, it might even not be a Bloodlust comp. But, really? The Butcher is risky here. It's hyper risky. They are so committed to just picking people off with these stuns now. Oh, that was a fun cast. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, running in with the Butcher into that much CC, Lucio might have some troubles with this. Like, he might be called out a couple times. This might have to be a high 5 and just really hope Lucio doesn't get charged, which is fine. High 5 is kind of the meta right now anyway, so that makes a lot of sense. But that Butcher is weird. It really is, because it does offer a lot of extra CC, does offer a lot of extra lockdown, and they already have just a ridiculous amount of zoning. But I don't think it's smart into this much CC. They're going to have to prove me wrong here, because if we look at ways to interrupt the CC, Alarak does have his counter strike there. We do have the Jada with ice block potential, but this is risky. Let's see if it works out for them as we are heading in to game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, of this best of 3 series. Let's get this going. On the left-hand side, it is going to be Shaw33 going on that Tazadar. Andrew is playing the Rhaegar. Lindaruk is on that Butcher. Such a risky pick here. See if they can make it work. Aaron is going to be on that Gazlo. And Mongoose will be playing the Mei. They are ReGen Ghost. Whereas, on the right-hand side, in the orange trunks, it shall be Uncomfortably Numb, with Mr. Monkey Man is playing the Lucio. We have Famous on the ETC. Kick Naz on the Jada. No Naz to kick here. Novus on Kerrigan, and the Spectre is going to be on that Alarak. Already heading down to bot lane. Changes the mind, but is scouted by the turret very, very quickly. We're starting off with relatively standard talents, but there are definitely some interesting ones that we have to point out here. We're starting off with Heavy Pack for the Mei here. Very different to the usual talents. Great pull by Kerrigan. Counts as that is a great Discord strike. Double kill for Uncomfortably Numb right off the bat. In the meantime, Aaron has pushed up bot lane hard, even interrupts the rotation of Novus though, so a little bit is gained, but most of the XP is still picked up by this Kerrigan. Other times worth of note here, Electric Charge. Not going with the extra radius on that Earthbind Totem or anything like that. Gasler going mage build, the meta these days with Rocket Boots. Invigoration. Getting the cooldown reduction here. Again, a little bit out of the ordinary, but not too far out of the ordinary to be unreasonable. We have the party mix for Lucio. He wants to try and make people stay split so that they don't all get caught in big wombo plays here. And Alarak with extended lightning here. That is definitely out of the ordinary. Going to try and go over a little bit of counteraction there. Tassadar has only just picked his level 1 talent, sure, going with the slowly rising in popularity with that Kaldarian amulet here. The auto-attack build, allowing his attacks to bounce when they come in. Can't wait for ladder vents to go back. Oh my god, yes please. I mean, I just settle for being paid for anything, quite frankly. Mongoose sending in the snowballs, trying to just force Famous to back up, who's gone for that block party to try and counteract that Butcher. Smart here, but with Shaw going with that chaining auto attack means he will pop those block charges very quickly. Very sensible pickup here. In the bot lane, pretty simple duel, but you can see Novus is going very aggressive. And again, Aaron sticking with the mage build means he might actually struggle to sustain long term into this Kerrigan. Goes in quite deep. Here comes the Butcher charge, though. Stun 1. Counter stun from Kerrigan. Novus timing that very well and is able to back away there. Full lightning coming in from the Spectre with negatively charged to go with that extended lightning here. They're instead going to try and get the counter gank onto Aaron. Very easily done with that Discord Strike. 3 kills to 0. Currently in favor of Uncomfortably Numb. Electric Fence for the Tassadar, trying to slow people down. Butcher, cheap shot here. He's going for a more quick burst style build. Charges in to try and get onto that Kerrigan. Andrew in a little bit of trouble. Dropped low, but they easily turn it onto the Spectre. Camp is taken. Novus is gone. That is finally some kills on the board for ReGen Ghost. Able to gank that camp very effectively. Monkey Man does get most of the gems, so that's not the worst situation. But to charge will be cancelled. Very risky. Would basically be diving under a fort here. Great Electric Fence, really trying to bully out Famous here, but not enough as of yet. We got that 46 stack. So remember, this is Tassadar going with an auto-attack build without going for the shielding. Very interesting to see. He's missing out a little bit of protection. See how well they're able to do. I'm also being told by the chat, it looks like it's pronounced Shui. I shall assume that is correct and assume that this player is called Shui. Famous. Zap it away there. Takes a bit of damage, forced to back up, does not get their turn in. Shui doing some good damage there. Top cleared up. Again, Butcher hasn't got any of the wave clear talents that he does get quite a few of, so he's just stuck with basic autos here. Full lightning shield build for Rhaegar, 100% committed to protecting this Butcher. Very interesting. And also that does lead into the possibility that they are still going to go for an ancestral healing style of build instead of a bloodlust. Try and keep the Butcher alive that way. As getting that earthen shield at level 16 can give you a pretty good burst of sustain, allowing you to land that ancestral. Whereas Bloodlust can leave you open instead to go for the healing cooldown reduction, which can be very effective in keeping the team sustained. Novus still just clearing, but we're starting to see Aaron with that extra scrap from Goblin Fusion starting to cause a lot of zoning. Mongoose interrupts one more time, but it's taking quite a bit of damage. 1 stack on negatively charged, not going too well for Alarak yet. Keep an eye on it. Mongoose does not get the interruption again, forced to dash up above. Kerrigan has died in the bot lane due to the 2-man gank there. That's going to be the first turn and going over to Uncomfortably Numb. Kill count does even up though, thanks to that gank. They're going to get a little bit of counter push, buy themselves some time as Mr. Monkey Man forced to make their way down to bot lane to help deal with this. We have Echo Pedal, giving them a little bit more freedom for some extra wave clear, something that Jada is kind of their only hero to do outside of Kerrigan. Pushing in. Electric Fence directly on the Webweaver. Do some damage. It's not much, but every bit of damage counts. Cool. Meat Shield. Spell Armor for Butcher. keeping himself alive. There's a lot of counter engage here. Pull comes in, stun, barely lands on both. Beautiful power slide. Shui gets cleansed, but it is far too late. Andrew will get some of the gems, but is forced to back away. The kill potential of Uncomfortably Numb is very, very high. Lidarok gets himself that fountain to try and heal up, but they still push in. Counter kill on the rotation, finding Mei. Uncomfortably Numb able to pick that up as well. 2 kills going over to them in just in this push alone, and with that, they're able to finish off the fort. First fort, they'll hit level 10 just a little bit quicker. They're still short. Their second turn in, though. They're not able to get the full chain. ReGen Ghost. A little bit behind here, but they do hit level 10 relatively quickly. And as such, they're still in the position where they can take some fights. We do still go Bloodlust. Going very hard on keeping that Butcher going. We have the Ice Wall for the Mei. Grabber Bomb and Lamb to the Slaughter. Level 20, this is going to be insane. But they got to live to level 20 first. On the other side, even more burst. Ultralisk for stuns. The Sound Barrier. They don't go Cleanse with the high 5. A risky play. Let's see if it works out for them. Mosh Pit. Ring of Frost. And that is a deadly charge. Gazlo has been killed off in the bottom lane. Counter engage onto Famous. Tags through it relatively well. And bot lane is dying, quite frankly. There's a counter push being attempted as we see the turn-in is going to happen for ReGen Ghost, but their fort may die for this, and if not, it's going to take a lot of damage. But here comes the gank. Have these 3 overstayed. Here comes the Butcher charge. It's onto Lucio. Bloodlust is dropped. Lamb to the Slaughter, and that is going to be 1 dead Lucio. Ring of Frost attempted for the turnaround play, but it is not enough. Black Hole was burned. Don't find it. The charge from Spectre as they get the counter kill. Shui is taken out. Mongoose in full retreat. Andrew dodges the power slide, but has nowhere to run. Gonna drop into that wolf form. Discord Strike does land, so no healing. Gets away from the pull of Kerrigan, but has very little health. Telekinesis into the fort, and that will guarantee the kill. Andrew is down. Webweavers now beginning to push in. Beginning to get some value. The wombo potential from ReGen Ghost is monstrous here, but they have to actually get it. Same as this. It is the same true, though, for Uncomfortably Numb. Lane's going to be cleaned out here. Aaron in position, making his way forward a bit. Setting up to zone away to clean up and try and create more pressure. But there's enough gems now gathered by Uncomfortably Numb to clean out these waves and then go for another turn-in. But they got to deal with bot as well. They can either go for the turn-in. Good dodge with the telekinesis by the Spectre there. Sorry, I realize it's Thick Spectre. My apologies, Thick Spectre. Lots of damage onto Famous. They're not hyper-committing, though. But the turn-in is possible for Uncomfortably Numb, but they have to pay attention to bot lane as well. They just don't want to give it up for free. Charge onto Monkey Man. He gets away. Ice Wall onto Kerrigan, which is going to be a little out of position, but she gets the kill with the Mosh Pit, which Butcher walks into. Knockback from Mr. Munchie Man to keep them all in the mosh. Deadly charge, and that is an absolute massacre. No counter wombo here. Turn-in comes in from Uncomfortably Numb, and that is their second set of web weavers pushing in with bot lane certain to die, and they're going to put some pressure onto mid. Keep Uncomfortably Numb with the wombo. They've gone for Stormfront. The extra range and radius of Blizzard. They really want to keep the wombo going. Gotta make sure you hit everyone, because why the heck not? Spawn timers still pretty low, though. Web Weavers are on the way, but everyone is alive from the side of ReGen Ghost. Making their way into position to defend this. Famous. Okay, slowly zap. Task not done, by the way, with these stacks. Currently at 119. Backs away. Charge. Huge focus onto Famous, who dashes away, but the Ice Wall catches 2 members. Do they have the wombo to follow up on this? There's the Gaslow explosion. That's big. And the Grabber Bomb 3000 to pick up the kill. Thick Spectre is able to back away. Black Hole keeps Mongoose alive, but Mongoose is still being focused. Good charge, and they actually knock Famous out of the Explodium charge, but the kill still goes through. Novus is trying to turn around, but he's so outnumbered here. So much meat just went over to Lidarok. He's fully stacked here. That was big, being able to get that counter engage. All the forts are dead. But that was big. That was very, very important for ReGen Ghost to be able to pick up these kills, or they would be in serious trouble. They found the gap. They found the angle to dive past, and they pick up what they need. Tassadar is stacked now. They've gone for that Psionic Echo. Interesting. They're going to go for the auto-attack Psystorms, but there's still a lot of damage to be done here. May, induce hibernation, damage reduction, and the flurry. Get that little bit of extra attack speed here, without any of the attack speed talents. A very peculiar build from this May. Level 16, though, is available for Uncomfortably Numb. Rejuvenacia coming in for the Lucio, the percentage damage healing. Showstopper for the ETC, a little bit of burst sustain as well. Cooldown reduction for the Alarak, big spells for Jaina with Snowstorm now as well. A little bit of extra damage. Famous in position, seeing if they can trap someone, but all 5 members showing up in top lane. Instead we see Famous clearing out the waves. ReGen Ghost playing defensively. They may have won a fight, but they are down a talent here. And the control of the map is currently in favor of Uncomfortably Numb. Famous baiting like they're going for boss, but no reaction coming out of ReGen Ghost. They clear up mid, but they put no effort onto a potential fight at top boss, as we do see level 16 coming in for them. Cooldown reduction for Gazlo. Give themselves those extra Explodium charges with Arc Reactor. We've gone for the Thermal Lance, a big mix build for this Tassadar. All over the place, but there's some good potential value here. They make their way through. We have the fresh powder. Extra charge, a little bit of extra damage. Very interesting here. We still go for the Earthgrass Totem. We've got all in on these Lightning Shield builds, but not going for any of the extra actual sustain from it, as a turn-in will be available for ReGen Ghost. Shui gonna be making their way in to turn that in. However, this does mean a potential 4v5 in favor of Uncomfortably Numb, but it looks like they're just going to back away. They don't take the risk, even though they do know that Tassadar was not there as he ports back to base. They clear their way through that. Webweavers pretty far back here for ReGen Ghost. The waves all pushed up. And this should, in theory, unless ReGen Ghost can land a wombo, be a relatively easy clear for the members of Uncomfortably Numb. I just want to clear these out very quickly and prepare for more fights or level 20. ReGen Ghost, they need to turn this into kills, because again, all the Webweavers are so pushed back that they're not going to get a huge amount of value if they don't get kills out of this. Land to the Sorter, pulls EDC back in. Sound Barrier did land, and he is locked down. Famous is taken out. The Ice Wall split the team completely, shutting down 3 members. Novus is down, and that is a massacre. Exactly what ReGen Ghost needed. The Webweaver takes down the top fort. They push into the middle fort, and they're going to be able to take that down. Blizzard actually getting some decent value here, clearing out the wave, buying them some more time. But this is a big win for ReGen Ghost. They're trying to capitalize, but the Webweavers will be expiring very shortly. Top is all that is left. And that Blizzard actually helping them out pretty well here. The push continues, using turrets to tank. Even the Earth Grasp Totem to hold it there, hold it steady. Enraged and Brutal Strike. A little bit of extra burst damage and the ability to chase a little bit better. Add some extra armor for the Butcher, which now they're going to use this insane Butcher race ability to try and take the boss. Will it be noticed? Uncomfortably Numb, it is too late. Butcher damage. Clear speed is just too much. That is the boss going over to the members of ReGen Ghost, continuing to begin and continue their comeback. Smacking away at that Mongoose. Trying to get onto Famous. Stun does land, but the face melt with that extra radius on the loudspeakers did give him some space, but the Ice Wall landing, Gravo Bomb, pulling them in, like the full combo! Butcher cleans them up, the Black Hole gets 2, and they keep pushing, trying to find more. Aaron is low, that is a big charge. Litter decides against it, but with a boss pushing in, they will get the first keep of the game, and with 50 seconds left, do ReGen Ghost dare dream for more? They're moving forward, looking for anyone to overstep. Anyone to make a mistake. Boss still with 2/3 health. They dive deep onto Thick Spectre, who turns it round, and Mongoose is getting absolutely dunked on. Big charge onto Mr. Monkey Man. There goes Mongoose, barely alive, holds it together. Kerrigan in the Chrysalis. Novus is taken down. One more death. But the boss still going on the core. Shui taken out. But the boss core percentage is ticking it down here. I don't actually understand why they're leaving. ReGen! You got 4 people alive, the health bars are low, but it's just Alarak, you had 12 seconds! The core is at 41%! They absolutely could have ended here. ReGen Ghost with potentially a huge misplay. They hit level 20. They are just 10 gems away from another turn-in, but ReGen Ghost, they may have just given the opportunity to come back into this game to Uncomfortably Numb. Famous. Zoning. Level 20 available for both teams. Flash freeze. Force barrier. That's going to be huge. The Gladiator's War Shout. The miniature black hole. And most importantly, Lamb to the slaughter. On the side of Uncomfortably Numb. Saving the Death Mosh in case it is needed. The cold snap for Jaina. There's the counter-strike for Alarak. That will keep them alive very nicely. Summer Anthem for Lucio. They're against big burst teams. They're going to just use that to try and keep themselves alive. And Kerrigan, Assimilation Blades. Really going in to try and finish people off here. But honestly, if ReGen Ghosts lose this game at this stage, I think they may have lost this themselves. But Uncomfortably Numb, they still have to pull it off. They still have to be the ones to make this back in. Just because their opponents gave them the opportunity does not mean they will be able to seize it. Let's see what they do. Oh, Famous very far up. Immediate face melt. Keep themselves safe. Going for that encore, and they do just quick pick Death Metal. Force Wall, very nice. And remember, it's cooldown reduction on that Force Wall to really keep the zoning going. Gems being picked up. Both teams with enough for a turn-in. Can either team make the play? Thick Spectre going for 14. Mongoose, the tank, unfortunately, the one who needs to turn in. Percentage damage done to kill Naz. You see the deadly charge wound up. Thick Spectre. Blizzard onto Famous. They're going to focus him down. Remember, this is Death Mosh. Huge mistake. The focus Ring of Frost is good, but the Grammar Bomb for the attempted turnaround, but they clear up 1-for-1 here. Massive stun from Mongoose, but he is very out of position. The chase is good. Slow from Lucio. They're chasing him down. Mongoose, he's stayed alive though. Mongoose, he gets away. The disengage is good. Now Thick Spectre able to use telekinesis to back up as Litherrock is trying to get the counter engage. Novus in trouble. Blizzard splitting the team. Stun onto Alarak. It's 4 versus 4 again. Both teams with enough for a turn-in. Novus needs to be very careful. He's miles away from his team. Novus, as they turn around, Litterrock looking for the charge. And this is going to be a potentially very dead Kerrigan. Overstepping miles away from her team. Deadly charge right into the Blizzard. Counter-strike shut down. Ring of Frost, though, is good. Jaina! Kill Naz. Picking up kill number 1. Looking for number 2. But they can't get anything more. Kick Naz is taken out. Mongoose is so low, but with catapults on the core, it's up to Famous to try and sustain. There's Web Weavers on the way in that they have to defend. DNA Galaxy, thank you for the raid. Famous, he does have Death Mosh and actual Mosh. He's now 1v3 to hold. He's trying to keep them down as the Web Weavers make their way in. Tassadar is on the way. Famous, it's all up to them with 23 seconds left for Kerrigan. The core takes damage. Famous, you can't afford to hesitate. He moshes, gets 2. Tass is coming. Web Weaver's doing damage to the core. Black Hole interrupts it. Death Mosh gets 2, but Butcher is free. And that will be game number 1 going over to ReGen Ghost. What a messy game, quite honestly. That was all over the place. So many opportunities that game could have gone a different way. But in this case, ReGen Ghost take game number 1 of this best of 3 series. Well played, ReGen Ghost. Taking the first win. You can see at the end there, the Butcher did claim victory, but Gazlo topping the damage numbers. 53,000 hero damage, a full 13k, a full Rhaegar more than Tassadar. Very nicely done by Aaron, who some of those stuns were absolutely essential for them to win that game. Mongoose, though, putting on a performance, able to keep his team alive by dropping some insane stuns. A little bit of a miscall by the team, I will not deny that. I think they could have ended the game a little bit earlier, and a good attempt by Uncomfortably Numb. They put themselves in a good position, but I think that the couple oversteps, the team maybe not communicating as well as they could, getting themselves caught out a little bit, whereas the team split every now and again, that's where they put themselves in trouble. But that was only game number 1. Game number 2, still going to be coming up shortly with plenty of opportunity for these teams to fight back for Uncomfortably Numb to even up the score, or ReGen Ghost to take the series here. Remember, this is a double feature day where we'll be casting 2 games. Right now, we are casting a Division B NorthEast game. And this is, of course, ReGen Ghost versus Uncomfortably Numb. After this, in approximately 1.5 hours, we will be casting an a Division E East game with Bull Moose Party versus Mosley and the Arcanauts. Should be a fun game. I am very excited to see who comes out on top there. Let's have a look at the talents at the end here. Again, Jada, big spells Jada. That shielding at level 13 might have been pretty solid into a Butcher here. And also remember, Jada does have a physical armor talent on level 4 that was also resoundingly ignored. Butcher go for a full burst style with the hamstring here, with cheap shot and the brutal strike here. I don't know enough about Butcher to claim if that is the correct build, but it worked out in their favor this time. Gazlo, pretty standard build these days. You sometimes see the spell power coming in on level 13. Just go for more burst, but they add more than enough burst with Tassadar and Butcher, so in this case, spreading out the damage, very effective for them. So, we'll come back to me so that I can get us into the game. Alrighty. Looks like we have our second map already prepared. Interesting to see. Oh, interesting. Interesting indeed. So in game number 2, we are going to be heading to Towers of Doom, and Uncomfortably Numb have opted for the map pick, not first pick. Let's see if this works out for them. Believing that they have a map that ReGen Ghost will struggle on, and Towers of Doom might be it. What is the logic here? A good 4-man. They believe their 4-man might be superior and be able to bully the bot lane. A solid macro style. The ability to cheese some of these objectives with maybe a split push Vikings or something similar. There are plenty of options. Uncomfortably Numb could have up their sleeve here to choose a Towers of Doom map choice. Interesting to see. Players are in. Caster is Caster is ready. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are enjoying our cast today. If you are enjoying, then maybe consider dropping a subscription or a bit donation to your local caster. I can only keep casting with the help of generosity of wonderful people such as yourselves. We are currently aiming for 100 subs before the end of the month. There's only 6 days left, and we currently have 58 subs because we had a load of subs expire today, in fact. So if you are feeling generous, I don't think we're going to hit our goal, but the goal is there if you want to help out. I have no other job right now other than a little bit of commentary work on Fiverr. Being paid is something that would be quite nice, and with your support, I can keep casting without having to worry as much about money. So dropping a sub would be insanely appreciated. Donations also help me afford food and shelter, something that I do quite like. And if you haven't followed yet, why not follow? We're currently at 5,600 followers on the dot. So if you want to help us get to that 6,000 and be part of the next and best 400, then maybe consider dropping that follow as well, as we have our draft picking up. We're heading into game number 2 of our best of 3 series. ReGen Ghost already starting by banning out the Chromie. Let's get this going. Uncomfortably Numb. Where do we see them take us? They ban out the Mei to start us off. It was a very good zoning tool from ReGen Ghost last time. Getting rid of it, very sensible. ETC shall be removed. Both teams respecting the other's tank. Very cool to see. It's nice when you get that higher level of respect. As Hogger shall be banned out. This does leave Medivh available, banned in the first spot by Uncomfortably Numb in the last game. This time, let through the draft. Are they expecting something from ReGen? For now, though, ReGen do not start off with any kind of Medivh strats. They just pick up the Johanna. With 2 tanks banned out, they prioritize quickly. Something safe, something good on wave clear. Decent long-range interrupts for objectives. With that shield glare, plenty of solid options here. Uncomfortably Numb now. Alarak, again, it worked pretty well, and Jaina again. Preferences definitely being shown by Uncomfortably Numb here. Still, it was quite effective. They picked up quite a few kills in the early moments of that game. With Uncomfortably Numb grabbing the majority of the kills, in fact, in the first few minutes. Sylvanas. Hard push potential. Their wave clear is already insane. The Uther, again, potential for it to be the main support, but also it could be an offlaner. Just a second support in the rotation. And even, now this is some next level theory crafting here. They could run Johanna offlane and put Uther as main tank. There is a lot of flexibility available when you are running an Uther, so it's very cool to see them running in something quite interesting as such. The Abathur is removed. Every hero here for ReGen Ghost would have been a pretty solid Abathur hero, so that makes quite a lot of sense. The Abathur being removed, though, does open up the field for a potential lost Vikings. Removing that second heavy soak hero, meaning when you're against the Lost Vikings, you're going to start to be limited to a Falstad. Going to be a bit more difficult when you already have Alarak and Jaina showing as your damage dealers. Or a D.Va, someone who can move fast enough and heal well enough with that liquid cooling to sustain against the Vikings as a solo on a double soak map. Zul can fit in relatively well, but the sustain is questionable in such a strategy. Arthas and Lucio. Lots of slows, a little bit of speed boost for themselves. There is nothing scarier than a speed-boosted Arthas running at you, outside of maybe a speed-boosted Garrosh. So very interesting to see. By the way, everybody, I hope you are enjoying the cast today. Once again, if you are, consider dropping a subscription. Let me know how my voice sounds, because I'm actually on a new microphone here, because while I was playing Dungeons & Dragons... Oh, okay! Well, just in a moment... basically, during Dungeons & Dragons a couple days ago on Saturday, my microphone just died. While I also had a Fiverr job to do, by the way, as in it would not accept audio. So I had to order one on like 2-day delivery just to have it in time for this cast. But Vikings, something I figured Uncomfortably Numb might try and sneak, have been stolen away by ReGen Ghost. Really quite a smart play, and they pick up Murky. Murky is interesting here because the Vikings can actually clear up the Murky pufferfish relatively quickly if they are in good, if they are being microed correctly. But Murky gonna get a lot of very hard push potential. I still think a D.Va might have been better here, but the Murky is interesting. They're committed more to a single lane push, but they do still have the opportunity to double soak with this Murky. Very interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Murky and a Lost Vikings in the same game on opposite teams. Which one's going to come out on top? I can start a prediction. I haven't done that yet. Let's see if I can set that up in time before the game gets in. Dashboard. Hide stream preview, please. Oh, it already is. Start a prediction. Start prediction. Who will win game 1? Wait, no, 2. We're on game 2. Who will win game 2? ReGen Ghost. Or... hang on, there's a lot of typing to do here. Or Uncomfortably Numb. Oh god, their name's so long. Why is their name so long? And paste. And we'll give that a 2-minute vote, a 1-minute vote. There we go. So, who will win game 2? ReGen Ghost or Uncomfortably Numb? The prediction has started, and so has the game. So let's get into that. On the left-hand side, in the blue trunks, we're going to be seeing ReGen Ghost with Lidarok playing on the Tychus. Aaron, he's going to be playing the Lost Vikings. Andrew on the Uther. Mongoose on Johanna. And Shui going to be playing on that Sylvanas. In the orange trunks on the right-hand side, looking to even up the score, it shall be Uncomfortably Numb with Novus on the Murky. We're going to have Kick Naz playing on that Jaina. Once again, second time. Mr. Monkey Man on that Lucio again. Famous this time on Arthas. And of course, we have Thick Spectre playing the Alarak. I'm Tetcher. This is game number 2 of our best of 3 series. Mongoose already getting silenced out. Let's have a look at some of these talents. Different builds already coming out. We are going for that fishy deal as they try to focus onto Andrew. Olaf even coming in to try and block a couple hits, but instead ends up body blocking Andrew, who goes down. First blood going over to Uncomfortably Numb. Looking for more, trying to kill off Aaron, who is healed up by the Uther Ghost. So we're starting with Olaf the Stout, making him very tanky here, keeping the sustain. Grenade build Tychus. The very old and very out of favor Unfurling Shadows. Very interesting to see. We just don't see this talent anymore. Most of the other builds just give higher damage. Like, you have to get like 200 stacks to make it more viable damage than even the percentage damage most of the time, or the spell power. We're seeing the overwhelming power for the Alarak here. A little bit of extra attack speed and some self-sustain there. He can get stuck in melee now. They clean out quite nicely. Famous going very aggressive here. The grenade is good though, and there's the focus. Good route, and Famous will stay alive. Very nice. Get some stacks of Frost Presence. Get that Howling Blast cooldown reduction. But already, we're starting to see the value here. Remember, Sylv able to disable these buildings if they choose to. I believe she's already used Black Arrow, so they won't have it for this push, but they're still going to try and take out this tower. Good Discord Strike, getting some damage. Here comes Murky's big play here. Slime time. Going to stack off these Vikings good and proper. Novus trying to just stack up off of Eric, who's gone for Eric the Swift. Will deny some stacks that way. Killed Naz. Caught out of position. Will be taken out here. ReGen Ghost with a very solid kill there. And everyone will disengage. Very nice. Aggressive rotations working out here. Novus is winning the lane here. Is getting some pretty solid value out of this. Famous and Mr. Monkey Man trying to deal with bot lane. Again, the focus is on to Famous though. This time the Howling Blast does not land, but they are able to zone away. And with Lucio coming in, they do interrupt. Vikings already split capping here. Aaron is having a little bit of trouble. Aaron caps on the left-hand side. On the top, Alarak is sent up. Murky delaying the Viking, distracting. So this is just going to be a committed 2-for-1 in favor of ReGen Ghost. Knowing they can't really afford to waste too much time getting delayed by Vikings, they just commit to the fact that they'll probably lose this. Commit an extra person to top and guarantee that they get at least some shots. Also taking out Olaf on the way. Making their way down to bot lane, clear that out as fast as they can. Famous really trying to bully, but there's only so much they can do. They've gone for that frozen waste, but they're getting zoned out. This is good. Good stacks here from Mongoose. Mongoose quite far up. Root comes out in the blizzard. That's a great combo here. Mr. Monkey Man, though, getting focused down by Shui. Thick Spectre pulled in by the Condemn and is taken out. No autos landed, but he does complete Chaos Rage, which is a great job for him. So we see Arthur's taken down as well. They get some stacks and they get some stacks for their quests, but overall, definitely in favor of ReGen Ghost, picking up the 2 for 0. And they still soaked mid lane. Aaron still pushing away there. We've got that dissonance, extra silence duration, almost a full second of silence duration there. Going to be great value. Novus trying to do some bullying onto Aaron. Taking so much damage though. Sappers easily make their way in. 1, 2, 3. Yep, it was rooted for a bit, but it did make it in. Famous hard focus by Liderok. Famous backs away. Bell Tower survives, most importantly, though. Keeping Uncomfortably Numb with an opportunity to make their way back in. Nova's trying to double soak as best they can, keeping their team in this game, but right now there's basically a full level lead in favor of ReGen Ghost. Aaron channeling his side. Mr. Monkey Man trying to pull off an Eric and get an interrupt of his own. Kill Naz channels on the right, and that is going to be shots for Uncomfortably Numb. Do they go for the full invade, or is this all just a distraction play? Speed boost onto Murky, and to get stacks onto Aaron. Andrew not interrupted on his channel. Meaning this is a 1-for-1. Famous is low, but they still go deep, looking for Shui. Trying to take him out there. Novus is deep, and Shui just escapes there. Murky taken out, respawning at the egg just inside of his fort range, and everyone else disengages. That was a Murky for nothing. Not even a Viking died there. Good sustain by the members of ReGen Ghost. Novus getting chunked in by the Vikings, so instead we see it invade onto bot camp. Famous can't make it on the point though. Again, little too slow, but they do get Uther, turning this into a kill, but counter kill takes out Kicknaz. Mongoose able to march his way through. Ironskin shutting down the value of Arthas there. Able to make their way into the point and get onto that backline. A little too grouped here. We're seeing the reverse amp for Lucio, who is currently at 389 stacks. Bless Shield, Divine Shield, coming to own him. Now there is the Wailing Arrow, picking off the Lucio. Famous, barely alive. And that's going to be the Bell Tower taken out with Merc Queen. They might be able to get these other 2 sappers in. One grenade could take down either of these if they're not careful, but no counter kill. The grenade, melting point, the Thick Spectre is dead. Making that a 1-for-1. Sylvanas pulled him into telekinesis. One sapper makes it in. Andrew into the death zone. Gets a little bit of damage, but not too much, as level 10 is going to be acquired by Uncomfortably Numb. But they are down Alarak for another 8 seconds. March of the Murlocs for the Murky here. Sound Barrier. Ring of Frost. Deadly Charge once again. And the Ghouls. Army of the Dead for the Arthas. Channel coming in for the members of ReGen Ghost on both. Tychus uncontested. 5 shots confirmed. Thick Spectre channeling in. No one's interrupting. There comes the blind. Murky's trying to get some value on the backline, but is getting denied. Deadly Charge. It's ready. They're charged up into the backline. That's a big burst, but Divine Shield shuts it down. Mongoose is eating all the Murlocs. Ring of Frost takes them down. That is Mongoose out. Andrew is low, but it's a massacre on the other side. ReGen goes picking up the kills. Liderok uncontested here. They were able to get Lucio. They got Murky, and now they make their way in for Thick Spectre. Shots are taken. 10 shots from this rotation going over to ReGen Ghost. Gonna make their way into the bot lane. Begin working away on those pumpkins. Stealing their opponents here. Shui is here. They're currently 3. I think they could have got that if they committed to it, but they've backed up. They want to play safer. ReGen Ghost looking very solid this game. But again, their lack of willingness to take risky plays is showing. Kick Naz, backing away, heals from Mr. Monkey Man. Telekinesis, Thick Spectre gets out. Wailing Arrow, burned and not utilized. No sappers to push in here either. All they're doing is just creating space. Murky, only 2 stacks away from finishing this slime time. Get that extra slow amount. Sappers this time shall be secured. But now, with everyone alive, Novus comes in from the other side. That is a good deadly charge. Cap is actually going to be secured here. Kill Naz is so low, but holds it together. Murky goes down as stacks are completed. The Divine Shield keeping them going as Andrew is trying to keep his team alive. Cap is secured by Uncomfortably Numb. They trade Uther for Jaina, but they look for more. Mr. Monkey Man, though, his team's already disengaged. He's going to be focused down and taken out 2 for 1. Little bit of an overextension there by Mr. Monkey Man. His team not agreeing that it was time to chase. Fish tank for Murky. Big healing talent. The best talent for this particular build when you're full slime build and you're stacked. The healing output you get is amazing. Bribing out top lane. Jaina nearly done with her base quest to get that ice block. Aaron gonna channel over Viking and no one will stop them. Mongoose able to delay long enough that this is another 5 shots down to 12 health on the core of Uncomfortably Numb. Aaron gonna survive the March of the Murlocs, actually. Also, March of the Murlocs was used. It's not a short cooldown, it's 100 seconds. Using it to kill a Viking and try to damage a fort? Not sure I'd agree with that. They make their way in. 2 sappers left alive. But Merc Queen is active. Famous Trana Zone. Needs to be careful of Tychus though. There goes your health. But the sappers do die. Same build for Jaina, by the way, going with the Storm front once again. Novus. Being annoying. Level 16 is where he's going to get a massive power spike with auto attack supply slime. Going to be such a huge amount of damage here. Blizzard being used. Aaron just jumps away. He's gone for that large and in charge, giving them a little bit of CC of their own here. Ring of Frost from below is a disengaged tool by the looks of it. Uncomfortably Numb. Losing a big tool with Arthur's down. Lose the kill, lose the heroic. That's bad news for them because this is lethal. Balog is dead. That's good news. Murky able to get a kill there. But honestly, this is lethal. Even if they don't get this fort, if they lose all 3 altars, that's game. ReGen Ghost could end this here. Making sure they secure bot in case Murky's able to finish out top. But they now can leave 1 person down here. Viking on the left, but Murky's going to come and try and interrupt that. And if they had sent someone to this side, it could have been lethal, but they play it safe here. Murky doing some good damage here. Healing themselves up. Good grenade. Discord Strike buys them time. Novus still trying to hold the line on the backline. Deadly charge is interrupted. Bless Shield locks him down. March of the Murlocs to try and split away the Viking backline from the team, but Murky is dead. They turn it through as Thick Spectre take it out. Mongoose is tanking this beautifully as we see Liderok cleaning up this fight. And that's ReGen Ghost with not just the altar here, bringing it down to 2 health, sorry, but also the boss. With only Murky left to try and stop it, this shall be lethal unless Murky can pull off the miracle. That's a dead fish, and that is game number 2 and the series going over to ReGen Ghost. ReGen Ghost claim victory in this best of 3 series. And as such, they will keep their lead near the top of the table. Very nicely done by ReGen Ghost. You see at the end here, Novus did his best, but look at the experience difference. 15,000 for that Murky, 21,000 for the Vikings. They just soaked. That's all they did. They soaked and grabbed objectives. They were able to do so very easily. They weren't punished as much as they could be. There was no global from the side of Uncomfortably Numb, and as such, they got a little bit caught out. Couldn't keep up enough. The Murky nearly worked out at the end, but I think he actually focused the Vikings a bit too much here. But in this case, ReGen Ghost, beautifully read draft is especially what I want to say here. Working out that Uncomfortably Numb may have set themselves up for a Vikings pick, and with there being no counters left because the Abathur was already banned, or at least some less than ideal experience counters at least, they steal it for themselves. Absolutely genius. Big fan. Very nicely done. Let's see if we have an interview person. Once again, everybody, don't go anywhere. We do have another game in... Well, you can go somewhere for an hour, because we finished this quite quickly. We have another game in exactly 1 hour and 6 minutes, or 5 minutes by the time you hear this being said, where we will have a Division E East game. And that will be between the Bull Moose Party and Mosley and the Arcanauts. So I hope you're excited for that. Let's find an empty room. Let's go to here. Alrighty. So it looks like we will have an interview, and it looks like it will be with Mongoose, who will begin making their way in here. Yeah, very nicely done. ReGen Ghost taking that. Again, little bits where it looked a little shaky, and we can ask them about it as Mongoose does come in here. Hello, Mongoose. Welcome.
Hey, Tetcher. How's it going, man?
It's going good. That was a very fun Series 2 cast. How are you feeling about your second domination of the season?
First one was 2-1. The other one was a forfeit.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
But,
it's displayed
even
as a domination.
Still, 2-0 in played games feels good. So
Hell yeah. 3-0 if you count the forfeit. We count these.
That's right.
Every win counts.
That's right.
Alrighty, so yeah, how's it feeling? With that win, I believe you, with the same amount of games played as Duratan's Couch, will move to the top of the table. So congrats.
Well, thank you, sir.
Hell yeah, how are you feeling about that win?
Oh, it's fun, man. That must have been a great game to cast. You got Vikings and Butchers and Murkies and all kinds of stuff.
It was certainly all over the place in terms of drafting, and I have some questions about that in a little bit. But let's start off with the most important question. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, with 20 seconds left for a respawn, only 2 people, a Lucio and an Alarak, defending, and you having a fully stacked Butcher and an over half-health boss with the core on 40%, why did you not end?
Yeah, we had 2 of us really low, and I was worried about Alarak just one-shotting a couple of us and turning what was a good thing into maybe a not-so-good thing. It was a little conservative, and frankly, we underestimated how much damage the boss was going to do. After we pulled back, we're like, man, that core's at 40%. We should have stayed. But you know, sometimes you make the call, and you got to stick with it. You know, him and Han is not going to do you any good.
Exactly. Hindsight is 2020, and we hate 2020. So very reasonable there. So, let's talk about the draft. So, you guys went with, I think it would be conservative to say an aggressive draft, with a Butcher Rhaegar. Rhaegar with a full Lightning Shield build, without the damage bonus, and with a Bloodlust composition, which isn't unheard of, but it's more out of the ordinary. Was that just a full commitment for Butcher?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're going to Butcher, you got a full commit Butcher, right?
That is fair. The Bloodlust worked very well. I was having a hankering, even though I didn't expect you to do it, that we might have seen also Robo-Goblin Gazlo with Bloodlust. I'm glad you didn't, because the wombo was absolutely insane, but was that a possibility?
No, we kind of always were sitting on that. You know, we're not married to the Butcher. It has to be the last pick, because there's so many things you don't want to take it into, right? But Gazlo's wombo and counter engage is so good, even after the tune down a little bit. That I just, especially in organized, I don't think the robo hands are really much of an option.
That is fair. We have been seeing a little bit of it in terms of professional play, but the wombo's so good. It's so fun to cast, so I am with you on that. So, is there any time you guys felt that you were in serious trouble game 1? Because they also went a very wombo-heavy composition and put you in trouble quite a few times. Was there anywhere you really felt you were struggling?
Early, we know with that particular comp, early game can be rough, and we strongly considered banning out ETC because we know Famous plays a really solid ETC. A counter engage mosh pit was kind of a consideration as well. You know, it was a little bit concerning. We were dying at a higher rate early game than we wanted to, but we look up and Lid was the smartest of us all, and while we were all feeding, he was just staying safe on Butcher and collecting his meat patiently. So it was kind of like, well, as long as he's not dying, this should work out okay, and that's what he did.
It's like the anti-Leoric. Well, if someone's gonna die, it might as well be Leoric, and in this case,
Right.
it's if anyone's gonna die, please don't let it be Butcher.
Exactly right.
Protect the stacks. Same with the Medivh, which was banned out by Uncomfortably Numb in game number 1. Is this something that they might have scouted from you? Is this something that was a possibility?
Maybe. We were actually happy to see the Medivh ban out with what we were eyeballing with the Butcher. We were kind of
Oh yeah,
okay
would have
with
been
that.
insane against the Butcher.
Right, but we do have one of our players plays a really mean Medivh, so it's kind of one of those tools we have, floating around available to us. Actually, I think probably the biggest strength of our team is a lot of our guys have really big pools. It's almost to a point where it's a detriment you have so many options, but yeah, that is a tool available to us if we chose to use it.
Alrighty, sounds good. So let's move on to game number 2, Towers of Doom, where you were given first pick. And in this case, a less aggressive composition, but you did end up picking the Lost Vikings in the final pick. How happy were you when they banned out Abatha for you?
That's actually one of those heroes too that we kind of have sitting around in the back of our heads if it looks good. So it was good. The Murky was a little surprising.
I agree.
Yeah. I think they did a nice job of trying to, I think, force an over response to the Murky pressure in the top lane. But on towers, I think anytime you trade top for bottom, you're kind of okay with that, especially with Vikings.
That's fair. Makes sense. Yeah, you guys had control of bot for about 50% of the match total, which is pretty decent.
Yep.
So the Uther being played as the main support here into all of that ridiculous burst. How effective do you feel that was? Because obviously there is a discussion of Uther being main support versus main tank in some cases, or double support being insanely popular at the moment. Where do you feel he sits?
Either or. It's really comp dependent. In this case, the early pick Alarak and Jaina was kind of like, well, they're gonna try to blow somebody up, and Uther, like it was
his armor.
Right, it's kind of a no-brainer. Andrew landed some money D shields, especially on me in that last fight in the upper left. I had like 2 health.
Yeah, and, you killed Jaina with a D shielded Johanna, which is not a usual matchup you'd expect.
Yeah, I had like 1 second left on my cooldowns when he hit that D shield, and I just kind of turned around and started pressing my buttons again. So the Uther was instrumental, I think, in that. Andrew saved a number of us a number of times, and everything. It really hurt their comp, which was really good at just picking somebody out and then taking them down.
Alrighty, well, before I give you your shout-outs to give any thanks that you wish to, I will ask about the table. Once again, you're currently going to be at the top of the table for Division B Northeast. Who are you excited to play against in the coming weeks? Is there anyone from previous seasons you want some revenge on, or anyone you've just been keeping an eye on?
Yeah, that's a great question. B last season, where we were as well, but we were back in B last season, was super, super close, like really competitive. There was a chart floating around that I think Smiley made where was every team had beaten every other team, so you couldn't tell who was better. It was literally like a circle where everybody had beaten everybody. Yeah. So I expect it to be more of the same, but Probius we play next week. I think they're a really good measuring stick. They beat us up pretty good in Zul'jin Distillery Invitational, and they're playing really well right now. So I think not only is it our next game, but it's a real good team to take a look at it and see kind of where we stack up, because they're one of the teams I anticipate being toward the top of the table. So that's, I think, the next game on the calendar is the next game to look at.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, in that case, the floor is now yours. If you have any shoutouts, any thanks to give, now is your opportunity to do so. Anyone you want to tell them that they suck, this is the place you do it. So, who you want to thank?
Well, thanks to Uncomfortably Numb and Famous. It's good to see those guys back in NGS. They've been around a long time. They've been kind of doing every other season, so it's fun to see them back. Thanks to Murda and all our friends and community members at ReGen, who we all just kind of support each other and root each other on. So thanks to those guys. Of course, my teammates, who are so much fun to play with. And as always, the caster for making us feel like pros out there. So thanks for picking up the cast.
thank you very much for having me. It was very, very fun. And there were several times there where your buddy looked like pros too. It was brilliant to cast. Had a great time. All right.
Good.
Well,
thanks again, Tetcher.
Thank you for having me. And once again, have a lovely evening and go celebrate with your team. Good luck in your next matchup.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, so, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do now is get set up for our next game, which will be coming up in just under 1 hour. We're going to have a Division E West game. I said E East earlier, which I was wrong. Oops, mistakes were made. But in this case, it is going to be an E West game. We have fixed it. And I hope you are excited as I am, as we're going to have the Bull Moose Party. And they're going to be against Mosley and the Arcanauts. So don't go anywhere. If you have enjoyed the cast, please consider dropping a subscription or a donation. I literally can't keep casting without your generosity because I have no job and there is no one hiring esports commentators right now. So this is just all I have in terms of staying afloat outside of a tiny bit of fiber, which is maybe $25 here and there, which isn't a lot when it doesn't go very far when it comes to groceries. So if you're feeling generous or have anything to share, then please consider dropping those donations or subscriptions. It really is appreciated. For now, thank you very much for watching. We'll be back in 1 hour with Bull Moose Party versus Mosley and the Arcanauts. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a moment.